Now I'll demonstrate scenario 7. The Raritan DCIM solution has multi-tenancy, and this scenario wants us to imagine you have 2 or more customers using your DCIM tool in one facility. The Raritan DCIM solution has very sophisticated and granular multi-tenancy. I have the ability to set up as many groups as I want and add users to those groups. So in this particular case, I've added a group called British Airways representing one customer, and in that I've added one user called Jim Airways. And from this perspective, I have the ability to add group roles, so I could make this group the administrator, which has full capabilities, event manager, which is limited to seeing events, operator, which can make add moves and changes, limit them just to power control, make them the site administrator, or view only for such as management. So quite a bit of different roles I can apply, but in addition to that, I have the ability to further restrict what they can see. So I can have the ability to restrict based upon our DCIM hierarchy, whether they could see a data center level, a rack level, or down to an individual IT device level. And I'm going to now demonstrate that. So keep an eye that you see there's quite a bit of information in London, quite a bit of information in New York, and other sites within this system. Now I'm going to log off and log in as different users with restricted views. So first I'm going to log in as Jim Airways. And the first thing you notice is now Jim Airways has a restricted view of data. So I come to my dashboard and I can only see 4 rack PDUs, and I see a limited load for this system based upon that view. If I look at my data center tab, I can see that I can only see the London data center because Jim Airways has only been given the ability to see the London data center and the children of the London data center. So I could see 2 different racks, 4 rack PDUs. So now I'll log off and show Jim Rack. Jim Rack has an even more restricted view. Jim Rack is limited to one of those 2 racks. So they only have the ability to see 2 rack PDUs and the load from that rack. And when I go to the data center tab, they're going to see London, but they're not going to see all the children. They're only going to see 1 rack. Now, because they have the ability to see from the rack down, they can see all the devices in the rack. So now I'll log off and log on as Jim Server. And Jim Server has the ability just to see 1 device within the rack. So Jim does not have any visibility to rack PDUs. And so if I go to the data center tab, Jim can see that he's in the London data center. He can see that his single device is in rack LAN 1, but if he clicked on rack LAN 1, he can't see anything about the rack because that's a shared rack. But if he clicks on his Dell PowerEdge Chassis 2, he can see the information about that individual device because Jim has been given the ability to see at that level. So what he can see is his trend for his device, so active power over time, the load of each power supply for this Dell PowerEdge chassis, and you see that this Dell PowerEdge chassis is powered by 2 different rack PDUs for redundancy. And that completes the demonstration